What's happening? It's been months again, and I don't have a good excuse really. I have done a lot in the past couple of months, so I guess if there is an excuse, it would be that I've been busy. I've gone on a few trips. I have done a lot of sort of home projects in the past couple of months. This has definitely taken a big backseat, and I apologize for that. I am hoping that I'm at the end of that now, all of it, and I am able to get these videos done. And I'm hoping that right after I film this one, I can make another one. That way there's not this months-long gap. So sorry. But whatever, let's just get into it. We're gonna talk about some records. Some new, some old. I got some first presses pulled out to show off, which has kind of become a theme over the last, I don't know, 10 videos. So what we're listening to in the background, I have the Amigo the Devil Volume 1. I've got that going. I don't normally like playing vinyl when I'm filming these videos because there's just more having to like flip records and stuff, which isn't super enjoyable, but I'm right here next to the fucking turntable. It doesn't matter. Alright, we're gonna start off with my favorite album of 2023. I've had a few people ask if I'm gonna make a best of 2023 video. I might, but just know if I do, this is probably gonna be the number one. This is Curtain Wall. So this is actually kind of a compilation, but it includes the special edition, which is what I have here. Includes Siege Obsessed, which is the full-length album. But besides Siege Obsessed itself, it includes pretty much all of the other Curtain Wall material, apart from the songs on the Armed to the Teeth split with Fugitive Wizard. So you have the songs from Crocodile Moat, and you have the songs from the self-titled EP, and then the two EPs that came before that. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about Curtain Wall. I fucking adore this project. Like, this is my favorite of the Abysmal Spectre projects, and it's my favorite of the Grindstone Records projects as well. So, if you haven't heard Curtain Wall, I think the best way maybe to describe it is kind of like what you'd get if you mixed like black metal with like folky Ren Fair music, and it's kind of like that. I don't know if that's a good way to describe this. It's very fun. It's almost cartoony in parts, but I think that just describing it as fun tells you everything that I want you to know about Curtain Wall. This is overly fun. It's hyper catchy pretty much throughout. And being that I'm just talking about the project in general, not even Siege Obsessed, I'll get into that in a minute, but it's just a fucking blast, and I can't put myself in the mindset of somebody who would listen to this and not enjoy it, though I know there's plenty of people out there. Whatever. I will show you, this is like the outer slip cover that comes with the special edition. So you have a picture of Abysmal Spectre there on the front. On the back, you have all of the track listing, all the Siege Obsessed songs, and then all of the other tracks outside of that. Here is Siege Obsessed itself. This is, I don't love the album cover here, but it fits perfectly. Just to run you through a couple favorites on here, the title track Siege Obsessed is absolutely my favorite. That might be my favorite Curtain Wall track in general. Besides that, Wizard's Hat is great. I love that the guy from Fugitive Wizard does vocals at the beginning of that song. There's a couple re-recorded tracks on here as well, like Fear of God, and the version of Fear of God on here, I like it more than the original. But also The Enemy So Bold. The track Horn Skull is another one of my favorites. This is a lot different than what Curtain Wall has done up to this point. Like, it's a lot more, it's well produced in comparison to the EP stuff. There's a lot of female vocals. Like the song Siege Obsessed, the female vocals are kind of the chorus. There's a song on here that's pretty much entirely just the female vocalist, the clean vocals. It's a lot different, but I'm fucking thrilled with this record. Awesome shit. So the front cover there, there's the back cover, all the track listing. There's the gatefold there. Unfortunately, the lyrics weren't included in this, but the lyrics are on Bandcamp if you want them. So the special edition came pressed on, it's like gray and white with blue and red splatter. Very cool. And the second record is this. This is Crocodile, Moat, and More. And that's M-O-A-R, More. Really cool front cover there. Very glossy, as you see. There's the back cover. So like I said, this includes all of the stuff that is not on Siege Obsessed apart from the Arm to the Teeth tracks. So the whole Crocodile Mode EP is on here, and I fucking love that whole EP. The song Stoic Crenellations and the title track Crocodile Mode are hard to beat. But then the stuff from the first 3 EPs as well. The song Lichen Hunter is one of my favorites. In the Moat So Deep, the drawbridge opens. Just great shit, man. And the second LP is kind of like the first one, but it's gray and black with red and orange splatter. Very cool. This also includes an inner sheet. There's the cover for Crocodile Mode there. And on the back you have the covers for the other EPs as well that this includes. And finally, you have a slip mat with old Abysmal Spectre there. I keep it in here because, well, just because. So, Phantom Lore put this out, and I pretty much talk about something Phantom Lore released in like every video because I'm just more and more thrilled with everything coming from Phantom Lore. So, definitely go find Phantom Lore, follow Phantom Lore. Keep up with everything. It's all wonderful. This shit's fantastic. I'm gonna keep hyping this up for as long as Curtain Wall's putting music out. There's no way this band's gonna trip at this point. So give it a shot, man. Curtain Wall. Moving on, we're going to talk about a first press here, and this is one that I'm really thrilled to own. We're also going to move a bit quicker because it took me like 12 minutes to get through one fucking record. So we're going to move faster. However, I don't think you're going to need me to like describe what this record sounds like to you. This is Sepultura with Schizophrenia. So this is the second full-length album from Sepultura, which came out in 1987, the year after Morbid Visions. I guess in some way maybe it kind of lost that ultra like lo-fi raw energy, but not really. I mean, like, the vocals here sound really similar to the vocals on Morbid Visions. There's loads of really good riffs, and there's like groovy moments on here as well. It doesn't just rely on being fast. It's really good at like maintaining my attention, and it's pretty much just super interesting throughout. Like, the guitar work on here is great. This definitely has that aggressive death metal appeal still. And it's just more of a thrash record, I think, than Morbid Visions is, but it's really good stuff. And like I said, this is a first press, 1987. Put out on Cogumelo. However, I think the first album did the same thing. That credited Paolo Jr. here as having recorded the bass, but he didn't. The bass was recorded by Andreas Kisser, I guess. So, pretty fucking crazy to be credited on 2 Sepultura records without having recorded anything for Sepultura yet. But whatever. This is a gatefold, and what's cool about this is that it's signed. It is not signed by Max, so that's kind of a bummer. However, I guess like Max probably would be, like, if I wanted to get this signed by Max Cavalera, it probably wouldn't be too hard if I like went to go see Soulfly, which I tell you what, this is not going to get signed by Max, because I have absolutely no interest in seeing Soulfly live. Even though I've already seen Soulfly live. I went for Nile. But that's not really a good excuse. However, I think that Max is touring with, like, Sepultura songs, like old Sepultura songs. And I know, like, Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation or whatever was, like, recently re-recorded. I haven't listened to much of that. I've heard some of it. I don't really feel like it needed to be re-recorded, I guess. But besides that, it does include all of the lyrics. The vinyl itself is just black, but if you want to see the label, that's what it looks like. Also, this includes, like, this weird low-res, like, inner sheet that's signed by the same 3 guys. I'm not really sure why, but I just keep it in here, because, I mean, there's no reason to take it out, I guess. But, whatever. Sepultura, you know what the early Sepultura stuff sounds like. Aggressive death metal / thrash metal. You know what I mean. It took me a while to get into this album. It took me a while to get into thrash metal in general. And I'm still kind of picky about it, I guess, but this is a banger. If you haven't heard this, definitely check it out. That's Sepultura with Schizophrenia. Alright, moving away from metal altogether, when I heard that this was happening, I was over the moon, fucking thrilled, because I had been waiting to hear about a new album from this band for at least 10 years. And I am, of course, talking about this. This is the Coffin Shakers with Graves, Release Your Dead. So when I heard this was happening, I'd literally just, like, woken up for work in the morning. And, I think I just checked my email or something like that and saw that Spart had released, like, a newsletter type thing saying new Coffin Shakers album. And there was, like, a new song. And I think the song that they put out first was Prince of Darkness? Yeah, Prince of Darkness was the song they released first. And I heard it, and it was just like, yup, this is exactly what I fucking needed. However, I think that I'm so in love with the second Coffin Shakers album, the self-titled one from 2007. It's hard for me to know if this is, like, as good, or if I just really have, like, rose-colored glasses for the second album. And maybe that's what it is, but I mean, this is a Coffin Shakers album, no doubt about it. It's everything that I love about this band, and they've just continued it on. It took them 16 fucking years to release a new album, but Rob Coffin Shaker, I guess, has been kind of wrapped up with, like, his Underground Fire project, which is really good, but it's not Coffin Shakers good. Not for me, anyway. I love this project, man. Everything that this project has done has been absolutely fantastic. And I guess, like, I could have probably seen a new album coming when, like, last year Spart did that Coffin Shakers box set. So I knew that the Coffin Shakers were kind of becoming more active. But I literally remember the Coffin Shakers posting on Facebook about being in the studio back in, like, 2016. But whatever, I'll show you what this looks like. The cover is, like, really sturdy. It's not like a normal cover. You can actually kind of see on the back, like, these here. Like, it's a very sturdy jacket, which I appreciate. I don't know if you can tell, but I got, like, the 3D cover version. This does come with a pair of 3D glasses, which is cool. There's the back there. I like how the track listing are all in different coffins. Very cool. And then you have some just information and stuff on the back, because this doesn't include a lyric sheet or anything like that. There's your 3D glasses. The vinyl itself is on this really nice clear vinyl. I think they called it Ghost Vinyl or something like that. And I can't remember the limitations or anything. But if you want to listen to this, my favorite track on here is Wretches, the third track. But I really like the song Reverends of Doom as well. The Siren's Call, City of the Dead. Yeah, dude. It's just, this is great. I'm so excited to hear more Coffin Shakers. Now, I would just like to see this band live. So, I guess unless I'm going to Scandinavia, I don't think they're coming here, so... however, if the Coffin Shakers played in the United States, it doesn't even matter where, I'd be there for sure. But definitely check this out. Unbelievably fucking good. The Coffin Shakers never misses. That's Graves' Release Your Dead.
We'll end their pointless strife. There's no hope of death for the wretches condemned from hell.
This is another first press. This is a first press of a death metal album from 1990. A British death metal album. This is a band that I have never mentioned on this channel as far as I know. And this is the very first album from this band, so I'll probably get a couple of the other albums as well at some point. But the list of first presses is only getting longer. This is Benediction with Subconscious Terror. So, Benediction, formed in 1989 in England, and the first couple of albums, I think the first couple of albums, had Barney from Napalm Death on vocals before he was in Napalm Death. And it's very different from Napalm Death as well. This band started pretty busy with like multiple releases per year for a little while. And then in the 2000s it spread out. But I have not heard pretty much any of the stuff from this band after like the early 90s. I don't know if they're still around. If they are, I've got to imagine it's like a far cry from where they started, but that's kind of normal. Musically, it's mostly like pretty mid-paced. I really like the reverby growls on this. They're kind of delivered sort of like barky, I guess. Kind of croaky. But I'm a fan of that kind of thing. I guess just, you could probably describe this as like no bullshit death metal. There are guitar solos here and there, but I mean like really, this is just a good death metal album in a sea of good death metal albums. But I enjoy it. There's the front cover. I like that you still have the hype sticker on here from Nuclear Blast. It says, "At last, England's answer to massacre. Death metal from the cryptic realms. Rock is dead, pop is dead, thrash, Nuclear Blast Records, NB033. There's the back cover there with the band members. Like I said, you got Barney from Napalm Death there. You got all the track listing and stuff. 1990 up top. Very cool. There's your lyric sheet there. And you just have some more info and stuff like that on the back, thanks or whatever. The vinyl itself is just black. I'm not going to pull it out, but if you want to see what the labels look like, there you go. Yeah, man, Benediction. Not one of the biggest names in like early death metal, but definitely a respectable one. I dig it. I like some of the vocal patterns on this album. I like the music on this album. There's nothing to complain about. Check it out if you haven't heard it. That's Benediction with Subconscious Terror. We're going to talk about a little bit of black metal. This is a 2023 release from a relatively new band. The first release was last year. And that's a really good EP. And this album is super promising for the future of this project. This is Agriculture, self-titled Agriculture. This is put out through the Flenser, and like I said, the EP from last year was called The Circle Chant, and it's fucking wonderful, man. I feel like the way I'm going to describe this is going to turn a lot of people off, but you really should listen to this. It's very grandiose feeling. It's very pretty while sort of maintaining this feeling of aggression. But I guess you could best describe this as like post-black metal or like black gaze. I guess I'll say that if you like some of the earlier Death Heaven stuff, you'll like this. And if you didn't like a lot of the early Death Heaven stuff, you might still like this. Because this is definitely a lot darker sounding than Death Heaven. It's not that bright, pretty sounding black metal. It's like dark, pretty sounding black metal. But I really enjoyed this band and everything they've done so far. I don't remember the vocalist's name, but I think there are two people who do vocals in this band. But the main vocalist, her vocals range, they're very pained sounding. Her vocals range from like wretches to cleans, but it all sounds really pained. And like I said, Metal Archive says there are two vocalists in this band, so I'm not sure if the styles are split up between the main vocalist or the other one. I don't know. But this is really good. There's the first track on here is a pretty long one called "The Glory of the Ocean." Really good. And then there are Look Part 1, 2, and 3. And I think Look Part 2 was my favorite of those. And, you know, so there are a couple shorter tracks and then a few really long tracks, but all really good throughout. There's the album cover there. It's just like somebody sitting in the water with their hands on their head. The back cover is very simple, just the track listing. This is the second press of this one. 500 copies, orange vinyl, black splatter, very nice. And then you have an inner sheet with the band logo and all of the lyrics. So really good shit. Don't write this off just based on my description. Give it a shot, because there's a good chance that you'll like this if you like black metal. I dig it. That's Agriculture. Let's charge through these last two, because I'm spending too much time talking about each one of these. This is another first press of a grindcore record, which I don't talk about very often on this channel, so I figured it would be good to pull this one out. Also, I just mentioned this band a couple minutes ago, the record before the last one. I mentioned Napalm Death. And Napalm Death is another band that I have not talked about in 8 years or something on this channel, because I got the new album that came out in 2015, I think, maybe 2014, and I know I mentioned that on this channel when I got it. But this is the second album. This is the second album from Napalm Death, From Enslavement to Obliteration. So like I said, this is the second full-length album. It came out the year after Scum, and this was before Barney from Benediction was in Napalm Death. What was the guy's name? Lee Dorian? Was Lee Dorian the vocalist of Napalm Death? I believe that was his name. I don't think it says first and last names anywhere on here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Lee Dorian. And besides Lee Dorian, who I guess is in the band Cathedral, that is so far from like the kind of metal that I like. So I don't know anything about Cathedral. But Bill Steer from Carcass also plays on this album, which is cool. So I really like that this album starts with a slow track, Evolved as One. And then right into the second track, it's A Man's World. You know, it transitions from like that slow track to basically the vibe of the rest of the album. Very fast, fiery, chaotic grindcore. The drum performance on here is absolutely fucking insane. The vocal performance on here is fucking insane too. And it's funny because like I don't know Napalm Death super duper well. I've heard a lot of the early albums. I've heard none of those mid-era albums. But the early stuff from Napalm Death I enjoy quite a bit. It's just being in the mood for grindcore is kind of where I end up kind of dodging Napalm Death a lot of the time. But I've been in a mood for like early extreme metal lately, so, you know, Napalm Death was kind of an obvious one that was just this big gap in like my collection, and I went back, I listened to some of the early stuff again, and I was like, yep, this is fucking awesome. Anyway, there's the album cover there. There's the back cover with a shot of the four guys, and I love this photo of the vocalist there. Really cool. Obviously put out through Earache Records. You got a lyric sheet, all the lyrics, thanks list and stuff on the other side with a shot of the band. And all the early Earache labels kind of look the same, but that is what this one looks like if you're curious. So, if you like politically charged lyrics, fucking chaotic music, Napalm Death it checks every box you'd ever have to check, I guess. Really, really good shit. That's from enslavement to obliteration. Let's finish this off. This is a 2022 album from a band that, as the years go on, I only find myself loving more and more and listening to more and more often. This is Acid Witch with Rot Among Us. This is the fourth Acid Witch album, 4 years after Evil Sound Screamers in 2018, because this came out probably around Halloween of last year. So yeah, this band has only a few full-length albums. I mean, they've been around for 15, 16 years or whatever, but this band seems to be pretty busy. I mean, they're releasing singles every year, it seems, or EPs or splits, and since the last full-length album, they've released a few singles. They released the Halloween That Wasn't EP. They released the Spooky Volume 2 EP. And, you know, they're playing shows and stuff like that. And plus, you know, Slasher Dave is pretty busy with his own project. You know, his, like, more synthy stuff. But this album has plenty of that synthy stuff on it. And it works perfectly. I mean, this is another sort of step away from where this band started. You know, it's not just that super fuzzy, like, stoner death doom type thing anymore. Like, there's so much sort of eccentric little flares on this album. And the title track, Rot Among Us, is the best example of that, I think. There's all sorts of, like, vocal styles and, like, different voices and stuff on that song. It's really, really cool. The song Gather Each Witch has, like, a really awesome kind of, like, synth riff that goes along with the guitar. It's very, very cool. It's just, this band is really good at keeping it interesting and evolving without losing the Acid Witch charm. There's the album cover right there, again done by Shagrat, who is in Acid Witch, obviously. There's the back cover with a shot of the guys in the band, track listing. This was put out through Hell's Headbangers Records. There's the gatefold there, it's just a shot of the band with some, like, Halloween decoration type stuff. Really, really cool. Here's the inner sleeve. Here again, sort of credits. Another shot of the band. You have all the lyrics. I chose the orange yellow swirl. It's kind of hard to tell. It kind of looks orange more than like a swirl color, but you might be able to see it. This includes some kind of, like, I don't remember what it says, some type of, like, a lantern decoration or something like that, but it's kind of falling apart, so I'm going to put it down. And it includes a poster. The poster is just of the album cover. Very cool. This album is a blast. I guess if I were to choose any favorite songs, the song Rot Among Us is among my favorites. Devil's Night Doom is another one of my favorites. 5508 Martin Street was the first single, and that's a banger for sure. Really, really good shit, but you guys know that. Acid Witch is awesome. Check it out, it's Rot Among Us. That's 7 more records. Like I said, I'm probably going to try and film another one of these today or tomorrow. Because I don't want a super long gap anymore. I'm trying to get back on schedule, and I just keep getting busy with other stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I'll try and get back as soon as possible. But till then, later.
I didn't know I'm neurotic. I never thought I was scared of dying at all. I always thought my biggest fear would somehow be love-related, not fentanyl.